Our all the staff members are taking keen participation in the workshop to make it successful. I would like to invite my colleague, Mr. Mandeep Kumar, to introduce the great personality, Professor Sunita Sharma. Mandeep, sir, please join us.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon, and all present here. I feel proud and pleasure to introduce our today's guest speaker for 10 days workshop, Professor Sunita Sharma, Madam, from Masakumbri University, Saharanpur. Professor Sunita Sharma, ma'am, is currently working as a Dean, Faculty of Education, Masakumbri University, Saharanpur from 2022 and Head Department of Teacher Education, DAV College, Muzaffarnagar from 2002. Madam is well-known personality for every academician. She had awarded by Best Teacher Award in 2015 from the Vice Chancellor CCS University Meerut. As far as concerned with her educational qualification, Madam has completed M. English, MPhil, M.Ed, and PhD in Education. Ma'am is directly appointed by UPHESC, Uttar Pradesh Higher Education Commission, as a First Lady Lecturer. She has more than 35-year experience in various fields of education, like as paper setter, UPSC, member of NCT, etc. As a resource person, Madam has delivered many invited lectures at national or international conference and seminars. Ma'am has published research paper in various international and national journals. Ma'am has organized and attended so many international and national conferences, seminars, FDPs, workshop, refresher course, orientation program, etc. Ma'am has published many chapters, books, articles, and research papers in reputed journals. Has received, guided many researches. On behalf of Dewan College of Education, I'm Mandeep Sharma, Assistant Professor. Thankful for your warm presence, ma'am. As per my personal view, Professor Sunita Sharma, ma'am, is very gentle in nature. Welcome you, ma'am. Please join the session and share your valuable experience and knowledge to us, ma'am. Ma'am, आपका स्वागत है सुनीता शर्मा मैम.
Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Mandeep ji.
Thank you, ma'am.
You have given a very, in a very good manner, presented my introduction. I am very thankful. Namaskar. Good afternoon, all. First of all, I would like to congratulate the convener of this workshop, Dr. Shivpal Singh ji, Principal, Dewan Institute of Management Studies.
Thank you, ma'am.
Organizing Secretary, Mr. Rakesh, Coordinator, Dr. Dharamveer Singh, and Mandeep Sharma, who has coordinated me throughout this workshop and given me opportunity to share my views in this workshop. I am very thankful, Dr. Shivpal Singh, Principal, Dewan College, and Mandeep Sharma. This workshop was successfully organized in all the sessions, as I am seeing all the sessions, and I am connected, and all the eminent speakers were invited to share their views in this workshop. No doubt you have selected the beneficial and relevant topic concerned with the B.Ed curriculum, as it is in our EPC course. You all are benefited, especially students of B.Ed, and all the participants have refreshed their memories regarding these topics. So again, I am very thankful for Dr. Shivpal Singh, Principal, Dewan College, for giving me this opportunity to become the part of this workshop. Thank you. And today's topic is as you have told that I have shared my views on this topic, enhancing professional efficiency. It is one of the course of strengthening language proficiency in B.Ed curriculum EPC. EPC course is strengthening language proficiency. And my topic is on English language proficiency. Because I am taking English in B.Ed department, DAV college, and this is very important topic because language is an important part of human being. Without the communication, we cannot express our views, thoughts to one another. We make use of this language from birth to death, and it is a part of our expression. We can express our thoughts, feelings with the help of this language. So, first of all, I would like to tell that what the proficiency is. Proficiency means the ability of an individual to speak or perform in an acquired language. Means you will be able to read, write, speak, and understand English. So this is the proficiency. You can understand the language, whether it is Hindi or English. You should read, write, speak in a acquired skill. You should have the acquired skill of speaking, reading, writing, and listening English. So this is the proficiency. Proficiency means the ability to read, write, speak, and understand English in a better manner, in a skillful manner. You can go through the English language. This is the proficiency meaning. First of all the students should know the proficiency. What is proficiency? Means one has to speak English language perfectly, means skillfully. He or she should read English, write English, speak English, and understand. First of all, the student should understand English. Then they will be able to read, then speak, write. So these are the main things of language proficiency. Means you should know the English properly. And how these skills can be developed among the students, because this is the problem of this of Indian students, or in Indian situation is different. That's why we are facing so many problems. But if you will have to decide, once you decided, you will be able to speak. So first of all, you should be able to speak English in a proper manner, in a proper speed, in a proper. You should not hesitate at all. The first thing is you should speak, and it comes with the practice and usage. As much as you will speak, you will learn better. So it depends on the practice and usage. The first thing, you will use this language without hesitation. Don't hesitate. And you will continuously speak and speak. Then you will be able to speak English fluently. If you will able to speak, then you will able to write. Next. What is the next? So, as I have described you, that language is an essential part of human being. We make use from birth to death. Without the language use, we cannot communicate with others. So we will have to use any language, whether it is Hindi or English. Without the language, we cannot express our thoughts, views, and we can exchange views. So we will have to use this language. Then place of English in school curriculum. Now, English is a foreign language. All of you know, and it is considered, it is a second language in school curriculum. So first language is mother tongue, Hindi. So because Now, no place is given at present. There are different divisions of next PPT. Yes, share, Mandeep. Yes, because place of English before independence. The place of English before independence was, what was the place of English before independence? Before independence, it was an official language and it was compulsory language. And place of English after independence, it was not compulsory and it was replaced by Hindi. So, and place of English in present days, now there is no compulsory subject. English is not compulsory subject nowadays. But why it is important? Why we place this language? Why it is important place? Because still there is important. Language is important. English language. Why it is important? Because it is a linked language. It is a library language, and it is a very important language because we cannot be. It is an international language. It is a language through which we can peep the whole world. The whole world, the advancements of knowledge can be shared with the help of English language. All the developments in scientific development, business development, technological development, all can be developed with the help of English language only. So it has its own importance. Its importance cannot be neglected because it is a linked language, it is an international language. It is spoken throughout the world. So it is important, cannot be neglected, and it should be taught at every stage. Now, next PPT, yes. Next is, there are so many problems which we are facing that the aims of English are being neglected, and classes of conditions of classes very poor. Very poor classes means ki there is no ICT in the classes and there is very crowd in the classes. No proper attention can be given to the students. They are not given an opportunity to speak, write, read, and individual attention cannot be paid to the students. There is so much crowd in the classes, and all methods of teaching English are being adopted. There are so many methods, as all of you know, those who are teaching English. There are direct method, translation cum grammar method, and structural approach, and bilingual method. In Indian situation, we are using only translation cum grammar method. Although it is one of the oldest method in English, but we are adopting this method because the students cannot understand properly, and the teacher will have to use this translation cum grammar method and bilingual method also. Bilingual means bilingual, though both the languages are used, English as well as Hindi. So the teachers of English are using this method nowadays also. We are not using direct method because the Indian situations are different, and it is a foreign language and it is not suitable for the foreign for the Indian situation. So we are using this language, and lack of uniform policy. Uniform policy, there is different policies throughout the world. There are some are in the no uniform policy is being adopted for the teaching of English. So these are the some of the problems. Next PPT, yes. Low standard of textbooks, lack of audiovisual aids, lack of effective teachers, traditional examination method, lack of suggestive correction. These are some of the problems which we are facing in teaching of English. Some of the teachers, effective teachers are not available. They are not doing proper corrections of the students. So they are lacking spelling mistakes. Their writings are poor. No proper attention is given to the reading, writing, and speaking. So these are the problems which we are facing in the Indian situations. These are the problems of language. So proficiency cannot be developed due to these are some of the problems which due to which the students are not developing their English language properly. These are the next. Now there are some objectives for the English teaching, and the objectives, there are 2 stages of teaching English. The one stage is junior stage and the second one is senior stage. And the 2 types of objectives we should focus for teaching of English language. There are mainly 2 types of objectives: language development and literary development objective. What is language development objective? Means if you want to go through the literary development objectives, it is not possible. Means at senior level, objectives cannot be taught directly. First of all, you will have to go through the language development objectives. Means language development objectives means the ability to read correctly, the ability to write correctly, the ability to pronounce correctly, the ability to communicate correctly. These are the 4 language development aims. Reading, first of all, understanding, reading, writing, and speaking. 2 main objectives: language development and literary development. If you go through the literary development, you will have to be, you should know the language development aims. Means you should have the knowledge of reading. You can ability to read, ability to pronounce the words, ability to write correctly, ability to communicate correctly. So these are the objectives at junior and senior stage. There are 2 stages of learning a foreign language, English language, and you can develop the proficiency only then you will be able to read, write, speak, and understand English properly. The next, junior level. Yes, there are at junior level 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and at senior level, yes, next senior level will be, there are 4 aspects of English language: junior level and senior level. These are the 4 aspects of English language. The 4 aspects of English language: semantic, phonetic, graphic, and phonetic graphic. We draw the 4 aims, the language development aims, with the help of these aspects. These are the 4 aspects which are essential for learning a foreign language. The first aspect is semantic aspect. Semantic means understanding, means ability to understand language. The second is phonetic aspect. Phonetic means speaking English. The third, graphic aspect, means writing aspect. And the fourth is phonetic cum graphic, means reading aspect. These are the 4 aspects through which we draw the 4 language development or aims with the help of these aspects. That is the ability to understand English, to speak English, to write English. Next, drawing objectives from these 4 aspects: to understand spoken English, to speak English, to read English, to write English. So these are the 4 aspects through which we can draw the 4 language development aims, and these are first of all to develop. If you want to develop the students or any individual who wants to develop the language, so he or she must know or must understand the language, speak language, read language, and write language. These are the 4 basic aims of teaching that are called language development aim. Next, objectives at senior level. At senior level, language development aims are essential. If you don't know how to understand, how to speak, how to write, how to read English, then you cannot go through the poetry or prose, or cannot give critical views, cannot develop translating ability, cannot develop interest, cannot go through the cannot draw the aesthetic pleasure from reading the English literature. So these are the higher level aims, and junior level basic aims. Basic is reading, writing, speaking, and understanding, and to develop critical view, to develop translating ability, to develop interest in English. These are the literary development aims. So they go side by side. If you don't know the language development aim, you cannot be able to go through the literary development aim. Next, this is the chart. With the help of these, you can understand there are 2 levels of English language, junior and senior. And junior language development aim, the focus of junior objective is language development, and at senior level, language as well as literary development. Both types of language development, literary development or language development, both types of objectives are must at senior level. Next, now there are some linguistic principles of English language. The first is principle of naturalness. Naturalness means English is learned in a natural manner. If you will speak English, then you will learn. Natural. As the child grows, he knows no language. He says, Baba, Dada. If you give me the exposure or environment of English, he or she will learn foreign language. If you will give me the give his or her the environment of English, he will speak English. So it gives on the environment, on the natural, means in a natural manner. Because as the child grows, he speaks Hindi, mother tongue, because it is spoken in the environment in a natural manner. And exposure, in English language, exposure is must. Exposure means all of you know, as much as you will speak, you will learn better. So exposure is must for learning a foreign language. And the third one is habit formation. Habit formation means you will have to develop the speaking English habit. Habit should be developed of speaking English. If you will speak English, if you have formed to speak English, then you will speak English. Otherwise, you will make use of mother tongue. In English medium school, there is a fine for speaking English, Hindi. So, but in Hindi medium schools, there is no fine. So they speak Hindi. So it habit formation, as you will develop habit. That's next is principle of motivation. Motivation means it depends on the motivation. You should motivate your students to speak English. There are some lectures, the opportunities should be given to the students to speak English or to give seminars in English, to present, to perform dramas in English. So they will be motivated. And principle of learning by doing. Learning by doing is the same as exposure. If you will speak, you will learn. Next, principle of active and passive vocabulary. Means you should use the different type of vocabulary in English language. Active and passive. There are two types of vocabulary of English. Active means the vocabulary which we speak in daily life. And passive means which we do not use. If you will use passive vocabulary, then we will be successful, because the vocabulary which we are not using should also be used. Then it will be our success if we make passive vocabulary as an active vocabulary. Active vocabulary means passive vocabulary should be used also. We are using such type of vocabulary. We are going, speaking, sitting, and the similar word, beautiful. These are words we are using. But there are some words like elegant, like there are so many words which we do not, aesthetic. We use these words in a very little manner. So these words should also be used. Then it will become an active vocabulary. Next. Then there are main objectives for strengthening language proficiency. Now our topic is strengthening language proficiency. So means how can strengthen our language, how we can make our English language better. We can make our English language better by developing, by strengthening the ability to read, ability to pronounce correctly, ability to write correctly, and ability to communicate correctly. So these are the main parts of English proficiency, because ability to use a language means for a variety of purposes, including speaking, reading, writing, and speaking. These are the main things of English language. The main parts, you can say. These are the main parts: to read English, to write English, and to pronounce English correctly, and to communicate. Now we will go through one by one. Next. Now the point is, what is reading? Now of reading, how the reading skills can be developed among the students, so that they will be proficient, they will gain proficiency in English. So we should know what is reading, why reading is important, what are the aims of reading, what are the methods of reading, how English reading can be developed or improved. So the first thing is what reading is. Now reading means, reading is nothing but the process of looking, process of sight, sound, see. Sight, sound, see. Means reading is a process of looking at a series of written symbols and getting meaning from it. Meaning, reading involves the recognition also. Means you should get the sense also. You will catch the written symbols and get sense also. Reading is not only you go through the read and without sense, and you don't understand. If you will not be able to understand, that it is not reading. If you will go through reading 1 time, 2 times, so you will be able to understand. यदि 1% यदि ऐसा होता है कि आप कभी नहीं पढ़ पा रहे, नहीं समझ पा रहे, तो उसको you can go through again and again. You will be able to understand the meaning. Sometimes it happens. If there is some letter or something, if you will not be able to grasp the things mentioned in the letter or in the application, you will go through again. So your reading will be better. If you will read again, you will get the sense. So you will get the sense from the written symbols. That is reading. Reading is nothing but the sight. Sight means देखना, sound सुनना और scene देखना. उसको symbol को scene, तीनों चीजें. It is a combination of sight, sound, scene. Now, why reading is important? Reading, as all of you know, is important for any information, any important news. Reading is very important for knowing the language also. If you will not read, then you will not be able to develop. The first thing is reading. Read, you will know the language. You can know the language, and the second thing is, it is also a source of recreation. Sometimes you feel bored. You can go through the reading novels, books, etc. So you can, because reading is a source of self-recreation. No company is needed for reading. If you are feeling bored, you can go through the newspapers, magazines, etc. and enjoy. Many of the people enjoy reading. They need no company. They read enjoying books, reading books only. So reading make it a full man also. So reading is very important aspect of English language. The next. Now, points to be kept in mind while developing reading. There are methods also. There are some methods also for teaching reading. Number one is, yes, methods of teaching reading. Next PPT. Reading, points to be kept. There are some methods also for teaching reading. Which is not in PPT, I think. There are some methods of teaching reading. There are 7 methods of teaching reading. One is alphabetic method. The second is syllabic method, word method, phrase method, sentence method, story method, phonic method. It is not in PPT, sorry. I am just telling you there are 7 methods of teaching reading. The one is alphabetical method. Alphabetic means first of all, we read letter, then word, then phrase, then sentence. Letter, word, phrase, sentence. This is alphabetic method. Means we read with the help of alphabets. First we read alphabets, then words, then phrase, then sentence. This is alphabetic method. Next is syllabic method. Syllabic method means syllables. Jैसे there is a word predetermined. So now you will read like this. Predetermined. These are the syllables. Syllables you know in English, because with the help of the syllables, we can write the spellings correctly. We can read also with the help of the syllables. Like there is a word improvement. So you will read in this manner, improvement. आप एक साथ नहीं बोलेंगे. You will not speak like this. Improvement. Improvement. So proper stress should be given. The next is word method. Word method means with the help of the words. You, with the help of the word, pura, have you seen? Pura word with the help of. See, have, pura word. Padenge. You will read the whole word. Then phrase, you will read the phrases. Then you will sentence, full sentence. Then story, with the help of the story. With the help of the story, reading can also be developed. Then phonic method. Phonic, you understand, sound of letters. Phonic is a sound of letters which are produced. There are so many sounds. जैसे put, p, put, but इस तरह के वर्ड जो है phonic, जिसमें की आवाज nasal sounds. So there are so many phonic methods. So these are the different methods. Now, how we can develop the reading ability or strengthening, go back, strengthening points to be kept in mind while developing reading skills. Now, how the reading skill can be developed. This is the main thing. There are different methods, and with the help of different methods, we can improve the reading skills. Like the first thing is, reading is like exercise for your brain, and it also improves your focus and memory. And first of all, you should be ready to read. The first thing, you should be prepared. There are so many points. Getting ready to read means you should be ready. Means brain से आप बिल्कुल तैयार रहे हर चीज के लिए. If you are mentally prepared, then you can read better. For everything, you should be mentally prepared. So this is getting ready to read. Exercise for your brain. Then determine your reading level. Means कि comfortable. आप comfortable हैं या नहीं? If you are comfortable, then you will be able to read. Then determine the reading level of books before you choose them. Which type of books you have selected for reading? Which type of books you have taken for your reading means according to your mental level. If you are of 8th class and you are taking the books of graduation level, you will not be able to read properly. So according to their mental level or according to their reading level, the books should be selected. Next is, choose the kind of reading you want. You choose the reading you want, which you want type. Means you want to read, you enjoy the novels, you go through the novels. If you want to enjoy the newspapers, you go through the newspapers. If you want to enjoy magazines you go through the, which type of reading you want to do. So you should select which kind of reading you, apna, according to your own enjoyment. If you enjoy reading books of extensive reading, you can go through the extensive reading. If you want to go through the intensive reading, then you read the books of your course. So select it. Then have a notebook nearby. You should keep the notebook nearby, means the words which are difficult should be noted down, so that you can read those words correctly. So you should note, you should keep a notebook nearby. Then find a good time to read. Find a good time to read means you should, proper time should be given to the reading, or whenever you free or you want to read, you should read. Then next, how to skim means don't spend too much time in skimming. Zyada bhi time, don't waste too much time. Next, how to read. Next, to improve your reading skills, read a lot. Take your time. Because reading involves pronunciation also. If you go through the reading, means you should pronounce the words correctly also. Rhyme, rhythm, intonation, articulation, stress, these are also the part of pronunciation. And in reading, these things should be applied. How you should pronounce, how you should read the passage or the poetry or the any text. Next, read phrases, not words. Use context clues. Learn sight words. Use your imagination. Use your imagination. If you are going through the any reading, then you will now, how to work on reading speed. Speed should also be not fast of reading. Reading should be proper speed. Now, you should read for meaning and text for understanding. You should understand also while you read. These are some things which you should keep in mind while improving the reading skills. Means reading level, keep in mind the reading level. Yeah. Keep in mind the reading level and keep. Are you listening? Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, we are listening.
Are you listening? My battery off is running low, that's why. Yes. Now, these points should be kept in mind while reading. The main thing is, the main points are, you should keep your dictionary, keep a notebook and visit your local library and give proper time to reading. And these are the main points which I have described. I have told you. Now, the second thing is how to develop English pronunciation. Pronunciation of English. बैटरी लगा दी मैं कर दूं मैं एक मिनट चलो now next PPT yes PPT ये close करो what is pronunciation now strengthening the ability of pronunciation. The main abilities, there are mainly 4 abilities. One, I have discussed ability to strengthen the reading ability, strengthening the reading ability. The next is strengthening the ability of pronunciation. Now, what is pronunciation? Pronunciation is the way in which we pronounce a word or to make a sound of a word. So pronunciation is the use of sound, system, stress, rhythm, intonation, fluency, pause in speech. These are the things which we include. Pronunciation is to speak the word correctly with proper stress, rhyme, rhythm, fluency, intonation, etc. Like there is a sentence, where are you going? If you say, where are you going? If you say, where are you going? So this is the proper pronunciation, proper way of pronouncing the sentence. So this is rhyme, rhythm, stress, intonation. All these words should be used. Stress in system, intonation, fluency, pause in speaking. Pause is also. These are all the part of pronunciation. Stress, rhyme, rhythm, intonation, fluency, pause, etc. Now, what is sound system? There are 2 types of sound system. There are 26 letters and 45 sounds in English. And the sounds of English are divided into 2. Pure vowels and diphthongs. Pure vowels are means A, E, I, O, U, and diphthongs means the rest of letters are diphthongs. So these are there are 26 letters and 45 sounds in English. Now, what are the causes of defective pronunciation in India? There are so many causes which we pronounce the words for which we pronounce the words effectively. There are so many reasons. The one is lack of English sounds, knowledge of sounds. The next is teachers' defective pronunciation. Teachers' defective pronunciation. Yeah. पोस्ट नहीं वैसे ही कर दो पोस्ट तो नहीं है तो चार्जर लगा दो इससे कर दो वैसे बता सॉरी 1 minute ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा ये क्यों नहीं हो रहा तो बंद कर दो उसमें teaching pronunciation There are different methods of teaching English pronunciation. Are you listening me?
Yes, ma'am. We are properly listening you.
Now, there are different methods. One is imitation method. Second is phonetic method. And then third is subsidiary method. Imitation method means the students imitate with the help of this method. Means they learn the pronunciation with the help of the imitation. And the second is phonetic method. Means phonetic with the help of the phonetic speech sounds. There are so many sounds. The, the, ba. They are the sounds. The, ba, ba, ba. These are the sounds. These are the phonetic methods. And then last one is subsidiary method. Means with the help of singing, with the help of reciting poem, with the help of the loud reading. These are the different methods through which we can learn the pronunciation. Now, ability to improve pronunciation skills. Number one is learn and become aware. Means you should be aware of their pronunciation. Then monitoring means a list of correction words. Sometimes you speak some of the words, you should make a list of these words which you pronounce incorrect. Then repetitive review means what you need to correct. Aware of the pattern of speaking English. You should be able to repeated review only if you will be able to, you need to be careful. You should be careful about the repeated review. The next is repetitive practice. You should practice at home. Aloud. You should speak aloud at home. And then self-correction. You should correct the words correctly by speaking continuously. And you should also make a list of vocabulary also. You should write some words which are difficult to pronounce. You can write down and then speak again and again the words which you pronounce incorrectly. Then think in English. You should think in English, speak in English, write in English, then only you can develop English proficiency. Now, talk yourself loud at home. Speaking freely without hesitation. The main thing is you should not hesitate in English. In speaking English, you should speak without hesitation. Now focus on difficult sounds. There are some sounds which are very difficult to pronounce. Sometimes the children speak incorrect pronunciation. The, and o, को बोलते हैं. So these are the some defective pronunciation, defective sounds. Now read out loud. Imitate correct words. Then use dictionary for correcting the pronunciation. And record yourself. This is one of the technique. You can record yourself also. Your voice, your pronunciation can also be recorded, and you should record these type of words which are difficult to pronounce also. You can write down these words. These are the different ways through which you can develop your pronunciation ability. Track words down with sounds. Use of ICT like Language Lab. Language Lab is also used for developing the ability of pronunciation. So with the help of these methods, you can improve your pronunciation ability by the main points means ki you should correct your pronunciation by speaking, by loud speaking, by practicing, by writing on your diary, by record yourself, by using ICT lab. Day by day, you can improve your pronunciation by practice also, because it is also a practice, and by knowing about the English sounds also. So these are the steps through which you can improve your pronunciation skills. Okay, then the third one is strengthening the ability to writing. Next PPT, yes. Methods for strengthening the ability to write English. Now, the third language proficiency, how the third main language development aim is writing, through which you can develop the writing skill also. And what is writing? Writing is a form of communication, or you can write. Next PPT, yes. What is writing? Writing is the form of communication that allows the students to put their feelings and ideas on paper in a written manner. What you want to express your views or thoughts, you will have to write in a written form, or your knowledge or your expression, your feeling. So writing is a form of communication in a written form. Now there are different methods, and in writing, speaking, vocabulary, grammar, these are the parts of writing. Spelling is also included in writing. Vocabulary is also included in writing. Grammar is also included, because in English, grammatically correct sentences should be written. Vocabulary, spelling source also in the writing skills. Now, there are mainly methods of teaching. There are mainly 4 main methods of teaching writing. Number 1 is kindergarten method. Kindergarten method means playway method. Playway method means kindergarten method. The second method is tracing method, with the help of tracing the words. And the third is free imitation method. Imitation. With the help of the imitation, the students learn. As you have seen at the very early stage, the teachers give the words for imitating. They write the words as a model, and the students have to imitate. They have to write by imitating the imitating words. So free imitation method. The next is FG French method. FG French method means strokes, circles. At the early stage, the children are they are taught the strokes by making strokes, writing circles, etc. So these are the 4 methods of teaching writing, and how we can develop the writing skills. How writing skills can be developed. Writing skills. आवाज नहीं सुनाई पड़ रही? I am not audible.
Yes, ma'am. Properly, you are audible.
There is a comment that your voice is not audible. That's why I am asking. Developing writing skill. How the writing skills can be developed. The one thing is by accurate spelling. The spelling should be correct. Grammar should be correct. Punctuation should be correct. Sentence structure should be correct. Using paragraphs should be correct. Colons, semicolons, apostrophe, commas. There should be a proper position of desk also. It depends on the position of sitting also. Writing can be better, because writing skill can be better if you will take a proper position of desk, proper position of pen, pencil, proper position of posture. Posture should also be correct. Better quality of ink, of pen, etc. So all these things should be kept in mind while developing the writing skill. That is, grammar should be correct. Punctuation should be correct. Sentence structure should be correct. Spelling, because these are the part of writing skill. Grammar, punctuation, spellings, these are all the parts. So by sitting proper postures, getting proper position of desk, correction work should also be done by the teachers, so that their spelling can be corrected. Sometimes the teachers do not check their spellings. So proper spelling, proper writing skills can be developed by keeping these rules in mind. Now, communication skill. How you can develop the communication skill. There are general ways to improve your English oral skill. Oral communication can also be developed by how you can develop the communication skill. Because I have discussed about the strengthening about the reading, writing, speaking, and understanding. But communication is also one of the part of this language proficiency. So, effective techniques to improve oral communication. How communication skills can be developed or can be improved by reading as much as you can. As much as you can go through the reading newspaper, reading magazines, reading novels, reading textbooks, reading intensive reading, extensive readings. So by reading, communication skill can be developed. The second is check out the dictionaries. Always keep the dictionary with you and consult dictionary time to time, or reading, writing, etc. Read out loud. Always speak loud and always read, practice at home. Take help of Google Translator also. आजकल तो आप गूगल से भी कंसल्ट कर लेते हैं, कोई भी आपकी स्पेलिंग है करेक्ट नहीं है तो उससे. नेक्स्ट, लुक आउट द ऑनलाइन डिक्शनरी. Enhance your vocabulary skills. Watch movies in English and enroll yourself in conversation clubs, etc. Engaging yourself in debates, discussions. Engage yourself in clubs, etc. so that such type of activities, conversation activities can be developed. And these are the some points which you will have to keep in mind for developing the language proficiency. Besides reading and writing, pronunciation and communication skills, English language has alphabets, vowels, vowel sounds, consonant sounds, synonyms, antonyms, prefix, suffix, formation of words, parts of speech, pronunciation marks, letter writing, application writing, essay writing, story writing. These are the different ways through which you can develop the English language proficiency. And in your course B.Ed, in B.Ed EPC, strengthening language proficiency, English, besides these are also consonant sounds, synonyms, antonyms. As all of you know, what is synonyms, what is antonyms, prefix, suffix, formation of words, parts of speech, noun, pronoun, adjective, adverb, verbs, punctuation marks. This is very important, punctuation marks, as we are seeing that the students are not putting punctuation marks. It is all the time missing, comma, full stop, colon, semicolon. We are not seeing. So this is also important in English language, punctuation marks, letter writing, application, essay writing, story writing. This is also in your course, B.Ed students. So this is about the English language proficiency. You can develop the proficiency especially by speaking, reading, writing. These are the mainly 4 aspects through which you can develop English language proficiency: understanding, reading, writing, and speaking. And the main points, main things I have told you: how you can develop reading, how you can develop pronunciation, how you can develop communication skill, how you can develop writing skill. So I would like to finish my topic. Anything if you want to ask me? Yes.
Thank you so much, ma'am. You give your valuable time from your busy schedule. You open the treasure chest of your knowledge for our students. You explain the objectives of enhancing English proficiency at junior as well as senior level separately. It was very useful for our students. Your presentation was really very well. Thank you so much, ma'am. I think there is no question in chat box.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much. You have elaborated very efficient manner and very easy method, and you have told a lot of strategy to improve proficiency of English. So thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We should take the program forward. It gives me a great pleasure to inform all of you that with your cooperation, our 10 days workshop has now been extended for 5 more days. It is now 15 days workshop. We are sorry to inform you that for some reason, the other resource person, Dr. Danny Saxena, is not able to join us today. In place, I would like to invite Mr. Manoj Kumar, Assistant Professor at Dewan Institute of Management Studies, Meerut. Manoj sir, please join us.
Thank you, ma'am. I hope you are getting my voice properly. Everyone.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
I am very thankful for entire department.
You're welcome, sir.
Our principal, sir, to provide me such an opportunity to engage myself over here. My name is Manoj Kumar. I'm working as assistant professor in Dewan Institute of Management Studies, College of Education. And please allow me to be here with you for the next half an hour. I'm just going to present my PPT. Already our esteemed speaker has explained very well in a very simple manner and very deliberately, very keenly, with that deep understanding about how to enhance the professional capacity, especially related to the English language communication. I will try also to add something. I will not take your more time. Please allow me to share my PPT. Kindly let me know if it is available on the screen board fully.
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Well, okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Okay, I know that in our more than hundreds of participants, teachers are there, educators are there, students are there, and there are the future teachers especially. So this PPT is especially for the future teachers who is going to teach their subjects in the next classes. But especially, and we are talking about the enhancing professional capacity, it is very much required for every professional teacher to teach whichever subject. But especially for the English, it's a language command should be there. So as per the syllabus, I will try to discuss. As we all know about that, we have different 3 groups in B.Ed first year in CCS University. Group A, that is for core courses in which we have different 4 subjects, 101, 102, 103, and 104. And in Group B, we have curriculum of pedagogy, especially. We have teaching subjects. And in Group C, we have EPC, experiences for enhancing professional capacities, in which we have discussed already about art and aesthetics and reading and reflecting on the text on prior days with the different speakers. Now today, as already ma'am discussed, strengthening language proficiency English. Now we need to understand with me, I will try to explain these things in different 2 panels. First of all, we need to understand why we are here to explain this or to understand this, the strengthening language proficiency. We need to understand the different objectives we have, in which we will try to explain, read correctly, how to pronunciation, write correctly, and communicate correctly. And in the later, we will discuss how to make the files. I think that is the very important point for the students to be at first year. Basically, now we start. So as ma'am already told about the language, the language is the medium for comprehending ideas and reflections and thinking always. What we have thinking, our ideas are there, we need to communicate and express to each one. So enhancing one's capacity in language proficiency is thus a vital need of the student teachers, irrespective of the subject area that they are going to teach. So we need to understand that this is the language proficiencies and what are the main objectives of this particular EPC 5. So this This is for especially for student teachers to understand that with the help of this particular file or with this particular EPC-1, English language proficiency, you need to strengthen the ability to read correctly. Number two, we will discuss in details later on, strengthen the ability to pronunciation and ability to write correctly. And the next is strengthen the ability to communicate correctly. So we need to understand the meaning of language. So language is a communication system. It's a two-way system in which we use the sounds, words, and different grammars. And human use language to express their thoughts, feelings, and ideas to each other. Language is used to convey information and emotions and to establish the social relationships with each other. Language can take many different forms, including spoken, written, signed, and gestured. Different cultures and societies may have their own different and unique languages, and language is a fundamental tool for human communication. It allows us to convey complex ideas and experiences to each other. So language proficiency refers to an individual's ability to use a particular language effectively and accurately to communicate with others. We communicate with each other, so we need a perfect language to give or to receive the perfect information or the messages we have. So it includes different types of skills. Basically, ma'am already told about the different four speaking skills, listening skills, reading skills, and writing skills. So we need to understand that for definitely the grammar and the vocabulary of the language to use all these skills. So especially language proficiency for a teacher is very important to understand. Why it is important to understand that speaking proficiency. So we need, especially in language proficiency, different types of proficiency beside the four skills like speaking, listening, reading, and writing. These are the four fundamental skills of language. But another proficiency also are required besides all these. This is cultural proficiency. So cultural proficiency, I would like to add on here something. The teachers should have an understanding of the cultural context in which the language is used. Basically, this includes knowledge of social norms, custom, and values, as well as an understanding of the historical and economic factors that influence the language. Another one, we have assessment proficiency. Of course, we are the teachers, and especially when the teachers in the class, so there is a part of assessment also. So teachers should be able to assess their students' language proficiency accurately and provide appropriate feedback to help them improve. So it is possible only when teachers know how to be very proficient, especially the using of language. So overall language proficiency is essential for teachers who want to effectively teach a foreign language or any other language. So it allows them to communicate effectively with their students and provide appropriate feedback and assessment. So next point is strengthening the ability to read correctly. So as I mentioned already, we have four different ability to read. Yes. So we need to understand what is reading. So reading is the process of interpreting different written or printed symbols such as letters. We have words and sentences in order to comprehend the meaning of a text. The reading it's very complex. It's a we can say that it's a very complex cognitive process that requires the reader to recognize letters and words and to understand grammar and syntax and to make sense of the different types of the content. So reading is an essential skill for learning, as it is the primary way that people acquire new knowledge and information. So it is also very important skill for personal and professional development. As we are the teachers, we are professionals, and so it is enables to us to understand and communicate effectively with others, engage with different perspectives, and express their own ideas and opinions. So reading can take many forms, including reading books, articles, newspapers, magazines, and nowadays online content also are very useful to study. So it can be done for different purposes like pleasures. We read for education, and especially we are the professionals, so we need to read for the professional development. And we know that effective reading requires the good reading comprehension skills, which involve being able to identify the main ideas of the writer, what is the theme when the writer is going to connect with the reader to writer. So we read different arguments of in a text and try to analyze and evaluate the context with the help of the reading. So this is the reading. So we need to understand the different characteristics of reading also. So we, as a reader, what are the characteristics of reading? It may be, as I earlier mentioned, that's a very complex cognitive process. So what we need active process for that. Active process, what do you mean by active process? Reading is an active process. So because we are directly involved in the reading and it requires our engagement to read particular text entirely. It means what we are reading, we need a very good attention and very good focus to understand what we are going to read, because we are going to connect with the writer's thoughts and ideas, what we write in that particular content. And yes, another characteristics, I can say that we need a comprehension. Reading involves understanding the meaning of the written on the printed text, because the writer has written on the content or any material which you are going to read. Basically, he has some purpose of that particular reading. So without comprehension, we cannot understand that. So reading also is a different phenomena for that. So next one is the individualistic approach. So reading is depend on person to person. It's an individual activity. Only the given particular paragraph or particular content maybe give some different ideas to the different readers. So each person brings their unique experiences and knowledge to the reading process. So it's depend that how much knowledge of a related particular content he has, or it's a new content for the reader. So it's an individualistic characteristics for that particular reader. So another one is a cognitive process. Of course, in characteristics of reading, this is a cognitive process. In particular, reading is a cognitive process because it involves the use of mental process. What types of mental process we need? We need attention, we need perception, we need memory, and we need reasoning to read particular things. So it has another characteristics of multi-dimensional also. Reading is a multi-dimensional activity that involves because when we are reading, we need something that we need to decode the symbols, to understand the grammar, to understand the syntax behind the grammar, and need to interpret the meaning of the text on behalf of these symbols and understanding of the grammar of the syntax. And it also very interactive. So we need interaction because reader and writer. So this is the interaction of both of them with the help of the words. So we can say the reading is an interactive process between the reader and the text, with the reader creating meaning through the interpretation of the text. So we need skill-based reading also. So reading is a skill-based activity that can be improved with practice and training. And of course, last I can say that it's a lifelong activity. Reading is a lifelong activity, and it can be very enjoyable. At any age, we can read with the benefits for professionalism, for enrichment of the understanding of different perspective written by the writers, to expand our knowledge, to enhance our vocabulary, to improve our communication skills. So this is a lifelong activity. Now we need to understand the different types of reading. In different types of reading, I would like to share with you that number one is skimming. What is skimming? Skimming is a particular reading quickly when the reader want to read in a very quick manner to get a particular thing from the content. So reading quickly to get a general idea of the content. So especially suppose we have reading the magazines, we are reading the newspapers. So in particular reading, we need skimming when we have no any particular agenda to read that particular thing, but we are here to read. So we will use the skimming method. Number two is scanning. What is scanning? Scanning reading quickly to find specific information or to details. When we have something in our mind and we need some answers of the questions, so to get that particular answer of the questions, we read with the help of the scanning. Another one is intensive reading. Yes, of course, reading carefully and slowly to full understanding the content is called the intensive reading, when we need to understand with a deep meaning. Another one reading is extensive reading. Reading is a large number of material for pleasure or for general purposes. So we read very fast and without any deep understanding, we read extensively. Another reading, we have a critical reading, in which we, as a reader, try to read something very complex things, to analyze and to evaluate the content of text, including its argument and different evidences provided, and with the different forms. So we read critically. Next one is academic reading. So reading academically is a very complex phenomenon, because to understand the different academic tests, and especially when a particular person is reading for the research, especially, and he have very high purpose to read a particular text, so it is called academic reading. So we have recreational reading. Of course, recreation, when we have enough time to read and we take some enjoyment with the help of the reading. So we read recreational types of reading, in which we read novels, magazines, stories, film stories, like that things. And the last one is informational reading. When we read something to get the information, so it is called information reading for a particular topic. Now the question arises, how to strengthen the ability to read correctly. So being a teacher and being a student teacher, that is the main thing to understand, that how we can strengthen our ability to read correctly, basically. So this is the solution of a particular problem. If we are on not the same level that we can read very influently or very correctly or very comprehendly, so we need to take some tips, or we can say some ideas, that how we can understand and we can be a better reader than ever. So what is that? We need to understand for that phonetics. Phonetics is basically, as already Sunita ma'am also told about the phonetics and phonemes. So understanding phonetics and sound patterns can make it easier to recognize the words and read them correctly. So phonetics is the sound system of used by the reader, that is produced by the text or the words or the sentences over there. So we need to regular practice exercises regularly to improve the phonetic skills. Number two, what we can do, we need to understand, to be a good reader, read regularly. Reading regularly is very essential to improve your reading skills, basically. So making reading a habit by setting aside a specific time each day to read a particular thing. As a student, if you are a student, so take a time, make your schedule, make to-do list, that what you are going to read per day. So make yourself, give yourself 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, 5 or 6 hours, whatever the comfortable zone you are here. So start with easier material to gradually move on the more complex items and complex text. You can take the different books for the reading. So, but one thing is specific, read regularly to make yourself influent in reading. Number third, we have improve vocabulary. Of course, without reading, we cannot improve our vocabulary. And with the use of vocabulary, we can understand that how we can strengthen the ability to read correctly. So improve vocabulary. For a good vocabulary is essential to understand what you are reading. If you are reading a particular text, so the level of that content, basically the level of your book, what you are reading at that time, will definitely improve the vocabulary of you. So choose your content and the text according to the level of your status. As you are a B.Ed student, B.Ed first year, B.Ed second year, and later on. So choose your text and the content as per your level. So learn new words regularly and practice using them in your word. Okay. Just a second. I'm not getting your chats. Sorry for that. Just a second. So lots of people are here. Okay. So need to improve the vocabulary. I think my speech is a little bit speedy. So let me calm down myself. Just. So we were talking about the improve vocabulary. So vocabulary only we can improve with the help of the books to read. So learn new words regularly and practice using them in your everyday conversations. When we read something new words, so you can make your decisions to take every day 5 words or 2 words. Okay, you can start with the help of the 2 words. You can use daily different 2 words or 3 words, or as per your capacity, you can read different 5 words per day. and definitely you can use in your communication with others. So that is will definitely improve your vocabulary. And the next hint may be the focus on comprehension. Of course, without understanding any particular text, any particular content is not going to be very useful. So reading comprehension is the ability to understand basically and to analyze that what you are reading. This summarizing, rephrasing, analyzing particular text you are reading definitely will going to improve your comprehension skills. So need to focus on the comprehension and the understanding. What it means to be that what the writer of that content is trying to improve, trying to say. So need to understand with the help of the comprehension. Next one is, and now with the help of present technology, you can use different types of technology to read and to enhance your reading ability, enhance your reading skills. Of course, we have different types of applications are available and different types of tools are available online, which can be very helpful to improve your reading skills. So these resources online are available. You can Google, you can search on the Googles. This is the age of technology. And at this age, you can practice of reading through the different types of applications that are available on your Google platform. Different applications are here. So, and such types of application will definitely improve your progress, that how much able you are and what is the status of your ability to read correctly, of course. So you can understand what is the progress of your performance. So you can perform better with the help of technology. So you can take the help of that technology at present time. Definitely there are different types of applications. And the next, seek feedback. It's a very good phenomena to get the feedback, because when someone is listening you, basically, he can understand from her or his side that how much influencing you are. So when you are reading, you just read before someone who is more or equal capable of yours. So you can read your elders, with your teachers, and with colleagues also, and with class mates also. So ask someone to listen you basically, and read before them, and try to provide the feedback, to say them to give the feedback. So in that feedback, you can put the emphasis on the pronunciation and intonation and rhythms also, that which types of pronunciation and intonation and rhythms you are using in this reading pattern. And you can use various if there's no one, of course it's a use of technology you can use here, that if someone is not here with you, you have technology, you have your mobile phone. So over every mobile phone there is a voice recorder. So with the help of that mobile phone, with the voice recorder, you can read, you can record your reading, and later on you can replay that, replay, and try to improve your reading skills. So you can be a better judge of yourself. So this can going to be very helpful for you to identify that in which area you need some improvement and you have already improved, and where are the weaknesses you are finding in reading. So you can you can do adjustment accordingly. That in particular thing, that suppose is there any lacuna in your pronunciation? Is you need to improve in your intonation pattern, or is your reading rhythm is not proper? So you can utilize that particular recording system of your mobile phone to enhance your ability to read correctly, basically. So it's not a matter of teaching English here. It's a matter of to understand the particular language as English. Either you are teaching SST, either you are teaching science or mathematics, but you need to communicate, need to read very efficiently in a very good manner. So it is required to take a feedback. Its feedback can be given by the human and by your technical devices also. So I hope these tips will give you definitely ability to read correctly. Next one is strengthening the ability to pronunciation. We many times use different types of pronunciation. Basically, need to understand what is that. So pronunciation refers to being which a word or a sentence or language we spoken. particularly with regards to the correct, or there is a particular standard, particular level of pronunciation of any word, either in English or in any other languages there. So for that, we have different kinds of sounds produced when we pronounce a particular word. We need to give some stress. Of course, we need stress to use while we are going to pronounce the particular word of the different sentences. So we must understand that the language we are going to speak, we need to pronounce it correctly with the help of the sounds which is created by the words, and different stresses we are using on that particular words of the sentences, and different kinds of intonation we are using to get it more. So in this way, understand, we have different defective pronunciations because we have some causes, and there are several causes which make our pronunciation very defective, or we are so very weak in that phenomena. So number one, we have lack of exposure to the language, of course. So we as an individual who have not had sufficient exposure to the language they are trying to learn may have difficulty with the pronunciation. Suppose we are going to want to be able to good pronunciation in English language. So there should be a particular environment around us, which can be very full of exposure for that language. So we will be able to understand that, we will be able to listen that, because when there will be some good particular reader of English, so with the help of that language speaker, we will be able to understand the right and proper pronunciation of the words and the languages. So without hearing that language spoken by native speakers, it can be very challenging to understand, to correct the sounds and the intonation of our pronunciation. Number two is first language interference. As we are Hindi speaking, so Hindi is our native language, and definitely for our native language, we are very comfortable by using native language or Hindi language. So sometimes our native language, our first language, is getting very disturbed, because for that we are not able to pronounce in English very well. For example, if person's native language does not have a particular sound, if we are not a good reader or good communicator or good particular understanding of our native language also, so we will be facing a struggle in using the particular sound in the English language also, or any other new language. So sometimes first language interference comes around us. Third one, we have learning environment. It's very much important. It's a major cause. Suppose a person is residing in India and he went to the America or different European country, and he get a particular positive environment over there. So very soon, in the next 6 months or in a year, we will definitely can look a change in him, that he's now influential in English. Why? Because the environment can change. Yes, of course. The learning environment can also affect pronunciations. If we have a good environment, positive environment, or around us, there are good speakers who pronounce the words in a very well manner. So we need a positive environment for that, where correct pronunciation is not emphasized. So with the help of that, we may develop bad habits. If the learning environment is not good and there is no good speaker, so definitely we cannot be a good speaker of English. So we need to understand that what is the importance of the learning environment. So we need to keep ourselves busy with those persons who are good speaker in English, if you want to understand and want to able in pronunciation. So next one is lack of practice. Of course, many times we leave the practice to speak. There are lots of days when we do not speak English. So why? Because we have no practice. So we need practice, and we know that practice makes man perfect. So if you want perfectness, so we need to do the practice, especially pronunciation is a type of skill. Language skills that requires, or any skills need practice. So if you do practice, daily practice is there. So with the help of practice regularly, it not be very struggleful So it is very easy to improve your pronunciation skills with the help of the practice. So do practice whenever you require to do the practice. Just try to, make a community, make a group of the students, make a group of the people. It can be your relatives, it can be your family members if someone is there, and make a group of 2, 3, 4 students. And so make a community to do a practice. So it will definitely going to enhance your skill in pronunciation. And the next one is, very, very, very important factor is psychological factors. You can understand, students. Sir, before speaking, we need some positive confidence. We need some better confidence, because if we have a confidence to speak, definitely we can we can improve our English or any other language we want to study. So psychological factors, just such as shyness. So lots of students get shyness. So I was also very shy in nature at that time. If I am concerned about me, I am a student of UP board, and you know that in class 6 I study to read A, B, C, D. So there was so much shyness to speak in English. But with the help of daily practice and the learning environment, you can improve yourself also. So psychological factors is a major cause nowadays. So if you believe in yourself that there is no fear, there is no tension, definitely there will be some mistakes. So mistakes are the chances to improve better. So if you know that you are doing mistakes, so you can improve your mistakes. You can correct your mistakes. And only the one phenomenon is there. Only that person correct the mistakes who commit the mistakes. So without committing a mistake cannot be improved. So if you need to improve in your communication, you need to improve pronunciation, you need to do some mistakes, because when you will do practice, definitely there will be some mistakes. So it's a defective functions, basically psychological factors. So need to understand? Yes, of course, we have some tips to improve your pronunciation skills. Lots of people want to understand that if these tips can be beneficial. Of course, these are very beneficial tips for you to improve your pronunciation. So first of all, what you need to do is listen to native speakers. What are the native speakers? Those are the speakers by birth. Just European countries, Americans, and all the speakers who use the English as their first language. So listen them. You can use your podcast. You can listen on different channels. You can listen on YouTube. So definitely you can use the technology to listen the native speakers. So with the help of to listen the native speakers, speaking language you are going to learn will be improved. So it gives you a close attention to their pronunciation. When we are listening someone, and we definitely try to copy the pronunciation, the intonation, the stress patterns. So we need to, of course, we need to copy. Yes, we need to copy a particular native speakers to improve our pronunciation. So pronunciation, with the help of pronunciation, intonation, and stress patterns. So when we try to keep in our copied manners, definitely we will try to improve that. Next one is practice speaking loud. So give yourself time, give yourself a space when need to improve your pronunciation. Speak loud. So practice speaking the language out loud. Start with short phrases and gradually move on to the longer sentences. Try to use simple sentences in a simple manner, and gradually you can use longer sentences later on. So make sure to speak slowly and clearly emphasize the correct sound. So practice speaking aloud is going to be a very good tips for the understanding. Next one is using learning application. Of course, as already I told, use the technology. Latest technology gives you a very good and nowadays it's a boom in technology. Different applications are here. With the help of the applications, there are lots of applications are available. So there are many languages, because I can understand that not only about English, many students or many children are improving with the different languages. They are learning with the applications. They are learning French, they are learning Latin, they are learning Russians. So they are learning different languages. Why not you? You can improve your English also with the help of the different learning applications are available nowadays. So these applications provide audio recording also of native speakers. So how they are going to pronounce the words and phrases correctly. So you can take them, re-sort, again, you can listen them. So until unless you can understand the correct particular, how to pronounce the things. So listen them and try to imitate. Of course, imitation is required for that with the help of the language. And next step is record yourself. Definitely, you are going to be a teacher of the future. Either subject you are teaching, so you need to communicate better in English also when there is a requirement. So try to record yourself, speak and record and listen yourself. Because with the help of this recording of yourself speaking, the language and the listen to playback, when you are going to listen yourself, you can understand that where is the lacuna, where is the weakness in your language patterns, and where is the you are not using a good pronunciation, or where to improve your particular sound, stress pattern, or intonation pattern. So record yourself, listen yourself, and try to improve on your sound. Next one is feedback. Again, feedback is required. Of course, you can take a feedback from your colleagues, from your friends, your family members, your teachers. So, and with the help of the technology also, when you are recording yourself in your mobile phone, definitely you are taking a feedback from your mobile phone. You can understand that you are making some mistake over there. So again, try to improve that mistakes and do something. So remember, students, that improving your pronunciation skills takes lots of time, and we need some consistency in that. So we consistently make some efforts to improve our language system. But I'm so trust on you that if you will do these use these tips basically and make some dedication and make some practice, you can make a significant progress. I believe that you can become a more effective teacher of the future. Now we need to understand in something that is written, strengthening the ability to write correctly. So this is the third thing. To be a teacher, you must be a good writer. So we need to understand what is the writing skills before that. Okay. Let me allow the tree. So what is writing skills? Writing skills basically refers to the ability to effectively express our thoughts, our ideas, or any kind of information through the written communications. So whenever we are trying to communicate with written words or symbols or in any language, that is called writing skills. So we have different aspects of writing skills. What are the aspects? Understanding the purpose and audience. So if we understand before writing that what is the purpose of the audience. So need to understand our purpose and need to understand the audience purpose. That if we are writing something, so there are two people, not only the writer. One is writer, another one is who will going to read that your writing. So there are two people. So it's a interchange and say communication between two people. So when you are writing something, keep in mind that what is your purpose, who is the audience, who is the reader of your writing. Suppose you are writing for the examination, you are writing an application, you are writing a letter, you are writing a letter to the official, you are writing a letter to the a particular family member. So there are two different things. So need to understand the purpose, that who is the audience. So a good writer understands the purpose of their writing and of course to understand their audience. So keep in the mind of your audience, that who is your audience if you want to be a good writer. Number two is grammar and vocabulary. Of course, if you want to make or enhance your ability to write properly, you have to improve, you have to work on your grammar and vocabulary. Because with the help of grammar and vocabulary, you can enhance, you can make impactful of your writing. So a good writer, to be a good writer, you have to a solid grasp of grammar and vocabulary. Vocabulary means different types of words you can use to write a particular things. And the help of the grammar, you can apply all the rules and the systems that how you are going to choose and to assemble all these words in the phrases, in the sentences in a particular manner. So it will be very impactful on that. So grammar and vocabulary is very much essential. So these grammar and vocabulary going to enable them to construct the sentences and the paragraphs that's so much clear and effective for the reader. Because you are writing something that should be very effective. That should be very effective for the reader. So keep in the mind that. So use your words properly and efficiently. Number third is organization and structure. Of course, a good writer is able to organize the thoughts and the ideas into the logical structures. If we are going to write something, we first of all organize our ideas and our thoughts in a manner. So give them some logical structure that we are writing an application. So we need to understand where is the starting of the application, where is the mid of the application, and what is the conclusion of the application or anything we are writing. So we need to organize our ideas and thoughts before writing and make them a logical structure. This makes their writing easy to follow and understand. Next one is creativity and originality. Of course, a good writer is able to come up with different creative ideas, and with the creativity, we need some original ideas also. So with the help of original idea, you need to create some new ideas also. They will be able to convey your ideas in a better manner for the reader. It will be very engaging and interesting way to understand your ideas and your thoughts and what you are going to convey to the reader. So be creative and be a little bit original in your writing skills also. We need to attention to the details also. What it means to be attention to the details. As a good writer, you must pay attention to the details of their writings. It include spellings and punctuations and formation of the words. So keep in the mind. So these are the minor things which are going to be very impactful and going to be very effective in making understanding to the reader. So please be attentive with the details. Clarity. Yes, we need more clarity, and especially when we are writing something, it means we need here to convey our idea very clearly. So for clearly conveying, we need to understand the clarity also. What we are going to, communicate with the reader. So especially be clear in your thoughts. It requires precise language. Which types of language you need to use? How should be your connection of the paragraph or the sentences? They are logical or not? So if you have some unnecessary words or unnecessary sentences in the paragraph, try to delete them, edit them, delete them. So be clear what you are going to read or write. Next one is coherence. Coherence is nothing but writing coherently means connecting our different ideas in a manner that makes sense to the reader. So especially it involves using transitions and other linking device to help readers follow the text basically. So we need to connect one idea to the another idea to the another idea to a particular thing when we are writing. So next one is voice and tone. Of course, when we are writing, we need to understand which types of voice and tone we have to use while writing, because which types of reader is this? According that particular reader, we need to understand our voice and tone. So our appropriate voice and different proper tone will be very conveying our our mood, our intention, our attitude, our emotions. So we can use our mood, attitude, and emotion in our writing. So we should use all these things properly. And the last one, I think, yes, editing and revision. Of course, it's very much required and very important. After writing everything, need to check or edit effectively. If we are writing things, we need editing or not. So revise once. This means review your thoughts, review your writing. If there are some few errors, so for need of clarity, for need of coherence, and if you need to change basics, you forget something, you can put on, or if you use something extra, you can delete that particular thing. So try to edit and revise your content, revise your writing paragraph or writing content wherever you are going to write. So definitely these are the aspects, you know, these are the aspects of the writing skills. So we need to understand for that. Next, mechanical elements. We have some elements of writing. What are that? Number one, we have punctuations. We need to understand that where we need to use the commas and different semicolons and pauses and prefix in writing, and it's going to emphasize in writing. So next one is capitalization and titles. Of course, while writing, we need to understand that where we need to use capital words, capital letters. So this refers to use of capital letters at the beginning of the sentences. You know that when we are using proper nouns, and we must use capital, and especially when we are putting some emphasis or stresses on a particular word, we can use the capital letters, especially for that. Next one is abbreviation and numbers. While writing anything, it depends on the content to content for which we are writing. We must use abbreviation. It depends. So we must be acknowledged for that. It's a very important element of writing. Huge abbreviations only when they are widely recognized and accepted. Only suppose we are writing a letter in which we have write to member of parliament. So no need to write member of parliament. Write in the bracket MP basically. So these are called the abbreviation types. Like we have to use United Nations. So United Nations, especially UN, is enough. So United States of America, USA is enough. So these are called the abbreviations. So you can use numbers also in your writing. Of course, again, we have grammar. So this refers to the rules of writing that govern the structure of sentences. So a particular sentence is going to form. So it will be very helpful. With the help of grammar, you can use your sentences, or you can use your words and phrases in making a proper sentence. So proper grammar ensures that writing is clear and easy to understand for the reader. So need to think in the mind that you are writing for someone. So need to understand from their point of view also. So use your grammar as per the requirement. And of course, spelling. Correct spelling is very important to ensure that meaning of words are very clear and reader can understand the text. It's very normal thing. Formatting, of course. So while writing, we need to understand in which format we are using. Suppose we are using applications. So we have different format, and in particular application, if we are using a letter, so we are using formal letter, informal letter, we are using notice. So need to understand the format also. So in which text is laid out on a page. So especially if you are writing and you are typing, or you are writing, or you are emailing, you are texting something. So you use your headings, and in formatting you can use your margins. So how much margin should be there on the left side, on the upper side, on the downside, and what should be the page, what should the font of this particular. If you are typing with the help of the technical, so font size should be, so minimum font size should be 11 for English, 11 or 12, and especially when you are making PPT. Suppose you are preparing the PPT for teaching a particular subject. So what should be the minimum font? It should be in your in your thought. So it should be used around 24. Yes. So formatting is very much required for that. And the next one is citation. If you are using something from any other source, so it's very important to cite particular things. So proper citation, of course, is important for avoiding plagiarism. So it will not be copied, and you are very clear. You are mentioning that particular thing, that you have taken something from this site, or this person particular. I have take something from this book. So make particular citations. It will avoid any types of plagiarism, and it will giving credit the original authors. So it means the original author is giving something, and you are using that particular content in writing yourself. And the last one, I think, yes, it's proofreading. So this is the last element of writing, that you need to proofread. It means that after writing everything, you have to check the written work for error, especially for grammatical mistakes, for spelling errors, so punctuations. If there is any error in punctuation, or it is submitted or placed on the right, it is creating a right understanding from the reader side. So these are the mechanical elements. Number 4, we need to understand the strengthening the ability to communicate correctly. Definitely, it's a very wide topic, and communications. So, but here I will try to sum up as soon as possible. Just for to be a good communicator, we need to clarify your message. Before communication, think that what you are going to specially communicate with others. So before communicating, make sure you have clear understanding that what you want to say, what or how much you want to say, and how you want to say. In a polite manner or in a harsh manner, what should be your tone. So try to organize your thoughts and ensure that your message is very simple, very concise, and easy to understand to the other party from whom you are going to communicate. So need to clarify your message before speaking. Number two, be a good listener. Of course, as we know that communication is a two-way process. So don't be only a speaker and need to be a very good listener. So it's very important to active listener. Pay attention to other party, what the other people are saying. You need to try or to ask the question also. If you have any doubt and need to clarify anything, it should be can be asked by the others. So it's a very good sign of a good listener that you are listening very attentively. So try to ask the questions also, or you can even rephrase that particular question that you want to say something like that. So be a good listener if you want to be a good communicator. So students, that to be a good communicator, overall, if you want to be a good communicator, the 45% goes to the listening part. If you are not aware about that, so be a good listener. Next one is watch your body language, of course. So as the listening capacity is 45% overall communication, if you are presenting something, your body language while speaking gives you a 55% participation in your communication. So as communication, if you are speaking, you have an impact of your body language. And if you are listening also, you have an impact of your body language by listener. So if you want to be a good listener, you can use your body language also, because when you are listening something, you can give some non-verbal cues while communicating to the others. So definitely the speaker will understand that you are gaining the understanding of his perspective or his content. So try to give a positive body language in which you can use eye contact, basically. So number one, eye contact. So maintain the eye contact. So use appropriate facial expressions. With your healthy expressions and healthy gestures and positive gestures, the communicator will understand that you are getting the ideas, of course. So try to be aware of your tone of your voice also when you are communicating. So especially when you are communicating, so in communications, different types of 4 skills are using. So when you are reading, when you are writing, when you are speaking, when you are listening. So all these things are the part of the communication. So be aware about your body language. It definitely impact your listening, your speaking, and your everything when you're communicating. So use appropriate language. In different situations, we can understand that we have different level. So try to make our language appropriate as per the environment, as per the scenario, as per the requirement, basically. Suppose we are communicating in a friend circle. So we have a different pattern, and we are talking in the class with the student. We have different, manner. So we should use those things accordingly. So be mindful when you are using your language. So where have to use which types of word you have to use. So which types of vocabulary, what should be your tone, and what should be your body language. So use appropriate language as per the requirement of the environment, in where you are standing and where you are talking to the other person. Next one is avoid distraction. When communicating, try to eliminate any distraction that could hinder your ability to focus. It's need to understand that what are the distractions are coming. So try to put everything different. So suppose your phone is disturbing you again and again. So or any other electronic devices you are here. So while communicating, if you are reading a book, it's also a communication of writer and yours. So put your mobile phone on silent and make it avoid it. Okay. And if you are writing something, so try to avoid every distractions you are having. Okay. And of course, practice. I think there is no need to explain what is the role and importance of practice. ask question. Of course, be open-ended. When you are communicating, if you are listening or if you are speaking, try to ask the questions from the communicators that you are understanding in a better way from the communication side. Be patient, of course. In struggle, we try to be very patient. And of course, in the last, give feedback. Because after a conversation, if you give feedback to the other person on what you understand and ask for their feedback also. If you are taking something, give your feedback. And if you are speaking something, also ask for the feedback. It's a two-way communication. So two-way feedback system definitely will help you. And I think it will definitely going to boost your ability to communicate in a different manner. And now the important part, there are only 2 or 3 slides, not more than. Definitely, I'm going to finish in next 5 minutes. So this is the important how to prepare the file. So first of all, you need to prepare yourself to be a teacher, especially. Of course, this is the page 1. This is called cover page. In Dewan Institute, we have already, very helpful to make this cover page for the students. On particular cover page, if you want to make yourself any cover page, so first of all, there should be a name of the college, Dewan Institute of Management Studies, College of Education. And there's a, beside this, affiliated to the Chaudhry Charan Singh University, Meerut. So it should be written over here. There's a logo also. And if you are a student of B.Ed first year, write it with the session also 2022-24. What is the work? Is sessional work? Is this assignment work? Is this or any other file? So make a cover page like this, in which you have to mention the subject. EPC-1 is strengthening language proficiency English, and submitted to and submitted by. So in the first page, it's very important. So make the first page. Of course, in the this is I think the last slide. Need to make index. In your index, everything should be written very clearly, which you are going to be detailed in your particular file. So in content, we need to make, especially I'm talking about this file, meaning and definition of language. So try to explain this one or in 2 pages. Write the page number. Next, you can use characteristics and importance of language, alphabets. You can use from alphabets and vowels and consonant signs. Try to give their examples, explain them. You can stick the notes over there. Next, words, synonyms, antonyms. You can define the word synonyms and antonyms differently on 2-3 pages. What are the word formations? So we have different parts of speech: noun, pronoun, adjective. You know very well about that. I'm not going to teach you over here. So verb, adverb, preposition, conjunction, interjections. Explain in your file these things very neatly and very clearly. So parts of speech will cover around the 12 to 15 pages, right? And again, you can use the sentences. What do you mean by the sentence? Punctuations, analysis. Again, we should use compositions, in which we use different types of letters. What are the letters? Formal letters, informal letters. You can give some examples of the also, and different types of applications you has. What is the format of application? We have essay, we have stories, etc. And if you are using different types of books and taking any idea from any other sources, try to give the references also. So students, these are the things you can use in your file. This is the index, and everything should be explained very well in your file. So I'm not going to teach you what you have to do in the next. And thank you very much. If you have any other query, you can ask me. Yes, sir. Do I have any query or questions in chat box? I think there are no questions and no queries.